Hey, what's up you guys? It's Victor from Cyborg for Life, and today I wanted to go over a simple stretching routine that you can do for limb lengthening. Now, I have a few videos on the channel already for stretching, as well as a more in-depth guide in Limb Lengthening Secrets, my free course, which you can have access to right now, link in the description. But think of today as more of a quick hit guide, if you will. So we're going to break it down in three different phases: pre-surgery, distraction, and consolidation. Now I'm going to start off by explaining why it's important to stretch in each of these phases, and then I'm going to clip in a demonstration of me showing the stretches for the muscles of the thigh for you femur lengtheners, as well as the lower leg for those who are doing tibial lengthening, okay? Now, I'm not going to show all of the potential stretches that you could do because that'll take forever. I'm just going to show the main ones for simplicity's sake. So when it comes to pre-surgery, why should you even stretch? Well, it's going to do two things. One, it's going to help you get into a good routine that you're going to need for the lengthening process. And two, it's going to help you reduce the amount of pain that you're going to feel due to the muscle tension as you lengthen further and further. And it does this by increasing your flexibility and suppleness of your tissue so it can better adapt to your current limb length. So what does this all mean? It basically means it's going to make lengthening more tolerable. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get, more length just because you started stretching before surgery. All right, so here are some of the pre-surgery stretches for you femur lengtheners. So the first one is a hamstring stretch. So basically, stand by putting your heel on an elevated, object like a chair or a bed or a bench or something like that, and just lean forward, and stretch by feeling the tension in the back of your thigh, and hold that for about 20 to 30 seconds, and then repeat on the other side. You can do 2 rounds of this, okay? Now, if you want to keep your knee super straight, you might feel it closer to the back of the knee, and if you keep your knee slightly bent, it's going to hit the proximal portion of the hamstring, closer to your glute ham tie-in, okay? The next one you can do is a quadriceps. Just hold yourself up by holding like some sort of support beam, chair, table, or something like that, and then just grab your foot from around the back of you, pull your heel towards your butt, and just pull till you can feel the tension in the front of your thigh, which is your quadriceps, and that's going to help loosen up that. Then for the hip flexor, you're going to do the world's best hip flexor stretch, coined by Dr. Mary Miller, my old physical therapist, during limb lengthening. And basically just put your foot elevated on some sort of bench, chair, or like I said, massage table. And then you're going to kind of lunge down with the front leg, just enough so you can feel the tension alleviate from those hip flexors, especially if you have a desk job or an office job where you're sitting a lot. The hip flexors can get really, really tight. So the next stretch is a pigeon stretch, and basically you're just going to kind of swoop your leg across your pelvis near your lower stomach and lean forward so you can feel some nice tension in your glutes and your abductors. The next one is the inner thigh or adductor stretch, and basically just kind of put your inner foot on an object that's just slightly below your waist and lean towards it so you can keep the tension on the inner thigh there. You can also do this against the floor or a massage table. Now when it comes to the calves, for you tibial lengtheners, I recommend the one and only slant board, and that's because you can kind of set it to different degrees of incline and really kind of cater it to your tension in your calves, because some people have really, really tight calves, some people have really, really loose calves. And if you want to target the soleus, you want to kind of bend your knee a little bit, but for the gastroc, try to keep that knee straight and kind of lean into the slant board. So when it comes to the distraction or lengthening phase, when you make your bones longer so you can fix your discrepancy or get taller, why should you stretch here? Well, the main reason is to help prevent a muscle contracture, which is basically a complication of the soft tissues where it gets really, really tight, where it can actually force you to stop lengthening early. Okay, so you don't want that because you invested a lot of time, money, and effort into this process. So you want to make sure you're staying on top of your stretching so you can kind of keep that tissue pliable, supple, and kind of matched up with your new limb length. So my best advice here is to follow the guidance of your physical therapist, because in the first 1, 2, maybe even 3 weeks, you're really going to be just doing a lot of motion and mobility exercises to kind of stay loose and limber. You're not going to be doing direct stretching. That will kind of happen as you get a little bit further into the lengthening process and the muscles get tight, and then you can implement a lot of the stretches you're going to see here. So some of the stretches I recommend for you femur lengtheners are laying on your back, the supine position, hamstring stretch with a strap. Just basically put the foot strap around the ball of the foot, pull your leg back with the knee either straight or close to being straight, slightly bent, and then just kind of pull it so you can feel the tension in the back of the hamstring, which is the muscles on the back of your thigh. The next stretch is the prone quad stretch. So you're going to kind of need to kind of pivot yourself and roll over on your stomach, and then you're going to kind of put the strap, or have somebody help you loop the strap around the front of your foot, and then you're going to kind of grab both ends of the strap and pull it toward so that your heel is coming close to your butt. Now, if you can't fully do this, just do as much as you can so you can feel the tension on the front of that quadriceps. The next one is the strap assisted adductor stretch, which is going to be foot strap looped around the ball of your foot, and then basically just kind of let your foot and your leg drift out while keeping your knee straight, and you're gonna feel the stretch in the inner thigh. For the abductor, do the same thing, but let it cross over your body the opposite way. A really good stretch here for you femur lengtheners is the Thomas stretch to help alleviate the tension in that hip flexor, which can really lead to anterior pelvic tilt, also known as duck ass. So basically just lay on the edge of a massage or a PT table or even your bed and just let your one leg kind of dangle off and hold your other leg kind of towards your chest, and you should feel tension in that front hip flexor start to alleviate as time goes on. Now, when it comes to the stretches for the calves, especially for you tibia lengtheners, you're gonna wanna use that same strap, wrap it around the ball of the foot, and kind of pull back, okay? So you can get the stretch in the gastrocnemius when your knee is straight. And then if you wanna bend your knee a little bit, you can kind of do the same thing and it'll target the soleus because it does not cross the knee joint. All right, so now your bones are longer, you're done the lengthening phase, and you're entering into the consolidation phase, so the bones can get nice and hard so you can finally get back to a normal walk, run, jump, and daily activity. You might be asking yourself, why do I need to keep stretching? Lengthening's over. Not so fast. There's actually 3 reasons why you need to keep stretching long into the consolidation phase. Number 1 is it's going to help you reduce that morning stiffness that can often linger long after lengthening phase is done. 2, it's going to help you regain any loss of flexibility that happened during the process. And 3, it's going to help you increase your range of motion for your new limb length so your mobility is not restricted, okay? Now, I kind of believe that there's 2 different consolidation phases. Consolidation phase A, which is right after lengthening phase, your bone's not fully healed and you can't fully weight bear. I think you should do the same stretches that you did in the distraction phase, just, until you start to alleviate a lot of that stiffness. Then there's consolidation phase B, where your bones are fully consolidated. The doctor gives you the clear to finally get back to normal walking, and soft jogging and things like that. Then this is where you can do the same stretches that you did in the pre-surgery phase, okay? Because you don't have to worry about your bones snapping or anything like that. Now, I do want to say that walking is one of the best forms of physical therapy and rehab, and that's because you'll immediately notice where the weaknesses are. You'll notice where you lack stability, strength, and you can start to work on that. And it's also going to increase the range of motion, through the natural biomechanics of the body, because you're going to say, oh, my hips are a little tight. Oh, my hamstrings are tight. My glutes, my glute medius, my calves, whatever it is, okay? And you'll know how to kind of cater and customize your stretching strategy a lot more efficiently this way. Okay, so real quick, I want to share 2 different products that I think could help you with your stretching during lengthening. And the first is a stretching strap. Now, this is the Stretch Out Strap by OPTP. Here's a little booklet that it comes with, and it has a lot of different stretches in it. I got this from Amazon. I actually have a link in the description if you want to check it out. And the really cool thing is that this has lots of different loops, so you can kind of loop it right around the ball of your foot and pull back for hamstring stretches, quad stretches, all that different stuff. And it also has loops on the end for your hands, so you can get a nice tug there. So this is a very, very, very good strap for limb lengtheners, okay? Now, the other one is my one and only, tried and true, massage gun. That's right. This is the EKRIN B37. I don't, verge from this. This is my favorite device for warming up before leg day. It's phenomenal for pre-surgery because it can help you figure out where your trigger points are and, adhesions and scar tissue you might have built up, so you can kind of know what might get tight, during lengthening, and you can work that out before you start. So basically, the way you want to do it is just kind of power it on, and it just kind of like runs over the surface of your muscles, and it does a myofascial release. Myo meaning muscle, fascia is the kind of the sheath that contains the muscle, so it kind of releases that, so you have more mobility between the muscle and its outer casing. Okay. This is fantastic to help reduce pain, but you don't want to go very hard. You just want to kind of like just do it just enough to kind of like wake up the muscle. And this is really good to do before you actually stretch in the mornings. So I recommend a massage gun as well. And you can check this out in the links in the description as well. So you can use this pre-surgery, during lengthening, and into the consolidation phase. So this is a really, really great product. There's other massage guns out here, but the EKRIN B37 is very comparable to a lot of the top ones on the market. I've been using this for years. It's phenomenal, and I don't verge from it. There's a mini one that I also recommend, but this is my favorite. So anyway, guys, that's all I have for you. So there you have it. That is the quick hit stretching guide to help you get the most out of your lengthening process. I hope you found it helpful. I'll have a few other PDFs below for, different phases, the pre-surgery, distraction, and consolidation phase, if you want to kind of check them out from Lengthening Secrets. And yeah, I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. And until next time, this is Victor from Cyborg for Life, signing out. Peace.